Inflate and Create. My name is Anna. This whole project is all about balloon sculpting, which means we're going to pump up these really long balloons and then we twist them and bend them until they turn into something. So we are going to learn how to make 3 different things. The first one is going to be a balloon sword with a handle, so we can wave it around like this. The second thing we're going to make is a balloon dog. It's really cute, and we can even draw a little face on it. And the last thing we're going to make takes 2 balloons, and this is a balloon flower. We have the flower part up here, and then a big long stem and leaves. All right, let's get into it and take a look at what's inside our bag. This is everything that comes in your Inflate and Create Take and Make bag. You get 1 air pump and a whole bunch of balloons in lots of different colors. So these are the extra long balloons that we can fold and twist. This bag has some orange, 1 white, blue, a dark pink, hot pink, yellow, and red. So we should each have several colors that we can choose from during these projects. All right, let's pick the first balloon that we want to use, and we will get started with learning how to create a sword. I have chosen a blue balloon to turn into a sword. We want to take this balloon and just stretch it out a little like this. What that's going to do is make it just a little bit easier to pump up. We don't have to stretch it too crazy, just a little bit. And now let's take a look at our pump. On the back of the pump, there are holes, and that is because this pump fills up the balloon when you push it in like this, but also when you pull it out. Both times it pushes air out. So you want to make sure that you don't have this end pushed against your body or anything else that will block the air. You want to make sure there's just extra space right here. Okay, let's put our balloon onto our pump. And then we're going to hold it with our fingers like this. And we can start to fill it up. We don't want to fill our balloon all the way. And I'll show you what I mean. So, once we take it off, I've left a small tail at the end of my balloon. And the reason is when we're twisting it, the air in here is gonna get tighter and tighter. And this is just gonna make it so that hopefully our balloon does not pop while we're twisting it. Okay, now, this is the hardest part, is we need to tie this balloon. This might be something that you need your grown-up to help you with. Something that helps is to take your balloon and pinch it right here and just let a little bit of air out so that you have more room for tying. So now I have a little more. Remember that, even a little bit more out. Like that. And then we're going to do our best to tie our balloon. I like to do the method where I twist it around my fingers. Once your balloon is tied, it will look like this. And then we have the other end with our little tail. We are going to start at the end where we just tied it. The first thing we're going to do is take a little section of the balloon, just about 1 inch or 1.5 inches, and we're going to twist just that small part. So it's going to look like this. We need to hold on to it because if we let go, look, it just unwinds. So let's do that again. So we have just a tiny little piece, just a little one. Okay, and then after that, we are going to take a about 2 hands width while we're holding on to this. And we're going to bend it like this. So your balloon is folded a little bit, and we're still holding on to this tiny piece. And then what we're going to do is we are going to twist it right here. And so I have one hand holding both of these, and one hand holding this, and I'm just going to twist it. Now we can let go. This is not going to go anywhere. It's stable. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take the long end of our balloon and we're going to tuck it inside of this fold. And pull it through. And we want to leave a little bit of room here so that we can hold our sword. This is going to be the handle. I think I'll push mine a little bit further. There we go. Okay. Now we have this little piece here, and we're just going to take it and tuck it inside. There. Now tucking it inside just helps hold things sturdy there. And now look, my sword is bending like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our hands and we're just going to twist. And it'll help straighten our sword out. When we're all done straightening the sword, it starts to look like this. And so we have our handle here where we can hold onto it, and then it goes all the way up to the tail. All right, next let's learn how to fold and make a balloon dog. Now let's learn how to make a dog. We only need one balloon for this one. We're gonna pick out our balloon and stretch it a little bit. Okay, and now let's pump up this balloon. For this one, we want a tail that is about 4 finger lengths big at the end after we pump it. So let's do that. Okay, so we're watching the tail to make sure that we don't pump it up too full. This is what my tail looks like now. And this is about 4 finger lengths. A little bit bigger, but that's really fine. Okay. And now we're going to tie our balloon again. So I'm going to let some air out so that I have an easier time. And then we're going to tie our balloon, the hardest part. Okay. Now, our balloon is tied. What we are going to do is the same step repeated 3 times. And so the way that we do this is first we're going to measure about as big as our hand, and we're going to twist our first section. This is going to be the face of our dog. Okay, and now we're going to fold. And we're going to create the ears. And we're going to twist this fold right here. So we'll hold it with one hand here and one hand here and twist. Now we have a face and ears for our dog. And now we're going to do that same thing again. We'll do about a hand's length. And twist. And then we're going to fold. And we're going to twist again. Okay. And we're going to do that same thing again, about a hand's length. Twist. And then we're going to fold. And we're going to leave just a little bit at the end of our folds and do our last twist. Now let's take a look and see what our dog is looking like. Sometimes after you twist the balloon, everything can be pointing in random directions, and so we have to fix it. So here I can see his back feet, his back legs, and his tail, and his body, his front legs, his neck, and his face is going backwards. So I'm going to twist him this way. And now he looks a little bit more like a dog. This is what our dog looks like when we're all done. Here's the dog's face, his ears, and his body, and his tail is way back here. And if you have a marker, it might even be fun to add eyes on your dog and draw a nose on your dog. All right, next, let's learn how to make a balloon flower. Now we are going to create a balloon flower. We need 2 balloons for this. So you need to pick out 1 balloon to be the flower petals and 1 balloon to be the flower stem. We're going to start with the flower petals. And for my flower, I think I want to use white. So the first thing we're going to do is stretch our balloon just a little bit. And then we're going to put it on our pump. And this one, we want to fill up about the same as the dog. So we're going to have about 4 fingers of tail at the end of this balloon. Okay, we're watching our tail to make sure we don't fill up too far. This is what the end of my balloon looks like. And then we're going to tie our balloons. We're going to get our grown-ups to help us if we need to. I'm going to let some air out so it's a little bit easier for me to work with. Okay, now my balloon is tied. I'm going to start at the end with the tie. And we're going to twist a small section, and it's going to be the middle part of our flower. So it'll be between all the petals. So I'm just going to take a small piece, not too big, and twist. I might even make mine a little smaller than that. Just a small piece. Okay, now we need to hold on to it because we remember that if we let go, it will come apart like that. So we'll hold on to it. And we're going to try and make as many petals as we can. And we're going to try to make them the same size, but sometimes they aren't the same size, and that's okay. All right, we're going to fold our balloon, just like we did before. And we're going to create a twist right here. Okay, so I'm going to hold it right here and twist. Now that we have this piece, we can let go and it will be sturdy. And this looks a lot like how we started our dog. But now we're going to make another folded piece for our second petal. And we're going to twist it in the same spot right here. So we will hold it like this and twist. And now we have 2 petals. We'll do the same thing. Make a fold. So this will be our 3rd petal. We'll hold it right here and twist again. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3 petals, 1 center of our flower. Let's see if we can get maybe 2 more petals. Okay. Fold again, exactly like we did before. And it gets a little bit more difficult as we go along since we're twisting in the same spot right here over and over again. It starts to get really full. So you need to be careful. Twist again. Okay, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 petals. Let's see if we can get one more. So we'll fold it and we'll have just a little bit that's going to hang off after we twist. Okay, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals. And it kind of looks like a jumbled mess, but that's okay. What we need to do is we find the center of our flower where we began. It has our knot on it. And we're going to start twisting the petals to where we want them. We're going to twist them so that they're side by side like these two. And so we can see this straight part here instead of seeing the fold. So this one we're going to turn like this. This one looks pretty good. And now we can't see this one. So we're going to move that out of the way to get the petal where we want it. Okay. And we can just keep shaping our flower until it looks the way we want. And this piece, I was going to tuck it back so we wouldn't see it, but I think I like it here because now it looks like I have 6 petals. So I'm going to leave it right where it is. Okay, now we can set this aside and we're going to pump up our stem. So we're going to stretch this just a little bit and then get ready to pump it. This one only is going to will only need a small tail. So we will leave about 2 or 3 fingers at the end of this balloon. Okay, we're watching our tail as we pump it up. Okay, this is what the end of my tail looks like. We have a little bit left here. And then it's time to tie it, so I'm going to let a little air out. And then wrap this around my finger so that I can get it tied. This is the hardest part. Okay, and now my balloon is tied. We're going to take this piece and we're going to tuck it in around one of the petals so that this is attached. I want this to be coming kind of from the back of my flower so that it will look like this. So we're going to take this and stretch it out a little. And we're going to do our best to wrap it around one of the petals. Okay. I have it attached. The balloon mostly holds itself in place since everything is so full of air and pushing on each other. We might have to fix our petals a bit. Okay, so now we have a stem attached and we're going to create 2 leaves. So what we need to do is create a Z shape. So we're going to bend it just like this. And so it makes a zigzag. It goes down, up, down. And then turn it sideways. We're gonna have one hand here and one hand here. And we're gonna hold it and we're gonna twist both hands the opposite way. So the twist will go right here. So hold and twist. Straighten things up, and we have 2 petals. You might need to twist to make sure everything is secure. Okay. This is what the flower looks like when it's all done. We have our white flower up here with all the petals going around the middle section, and then an orange stem and 2 leaves. Thank you so much for joining us today for Inflate and Create. This has been so fun. We would love to see what balloon creations you have come up with. If you would like to share, please go ahead and send them to the email floating across your screen. And we will see you next time. Bye.